That's right. And rhubarb typically likes colder weather. My wife wanted to try it. I was skeptical. We threw it in a deep hole actually with a lot of forest soil from right over our fence. Sorry about that. And I think it provides what it needs. And so far it's going. We've had a couple of very hot days and it's wilted quite a bit. But it's still booming and it's looking all right aside from that brown spot on the leaf. So we're going to keep it going and see if we can actually get something from it. And here is our other tomato bed that we've been keeping up with. As you can see, the bottom branches are pretty much clear of leaves and the upper branches are full of yummy tomatoes coming right along. So right through here you can see how cleared out it is. The leaves that don't have blight, I'll put them back into the soil. The ones that do have blight, I get them out of the garden. But these tomatoes are looking great, keeping them cleared out, keeping the airflow in, and it's rewarding us with more tomatoes.
Well, these are our beans. We have had atrocious luck with beans in the past. This year, what we decided to do differently was we decided to really pack up our bean bed. So in the past, we've had one plant here, one plant there, and they produce, but you never get enough to really get a meal out of them. This year, we put maybe 9 plants here, and we are really getting great production. So here's a couple. I've actually harvested enough for maybe three meals in the last week, and it's still going. They get really tangled up. Look at this crazy mess. But they're still producing. The downside to this is obviously finding the beans.
We've also put some watermelon down in here. Beans put nitrogen into the soil, and watermelons love nitrogen. So these are kind of happy companion plants that you put together. We also have another, I believe it's a cantaloupe down in there that we've planted with it, and they're doing great. We've been getting a lot of beans this year, so we're super happy with that. This is an in-ground bed, not raised at all. We just use the natural soil and put some other natural soil up here to help make it a little more healthy. Right here, we've got sunflowers that are coming up. These are chocolate sunflowers, and we're about to get a flower here. You have to be careful with sunflowers. They can stunt the growth of some plants. So one thing these sunflowers will do is they pull the heavy metals out of the soil. So these are great to have to help just improve your soil. This is a red sage, a native Texas plant. This again, I like to put pollinators, things that'll attract bees into our garden. That's what this is for. We've got some watermelon right here, cantaloupe, and echinacea as well. And we do have a couple watermelons that Sophie is going to show you what we got.
Here's a watermelon. Oh, look at that one. This is another green one that we have in it.
All right, I didn't even see that one. Cool. Yeah, it's cool to see these things kind of come up and surprise you every time you come out here. They're looking healthy. Watermelon likes a lot of heat. Cucumber beetle. They also like a lot of nutrients and they're heavy feeders, so you do want to kind of come in here and throw some sort of fertilizer on them to help them out. We do fish emulsion on these. This is our eggplant bed, and we love eggplants. These things produce quite a bit. We prefer the Asian eggplants over the Black Beauty. We just think they taste better. They're not quite as bitter. These things produce quite a bit. We've harvested probably 3 or 4 already, and they're booming. There's a lot more coming. Again, this is kind of a monoculture bed, something we're gonna get away from next year or probably this fall. But these things are doing great. They're getting eaten up a little bit, but they're still producing, doing well. All right, so I know it kind of looks like a mess in here with all the weeds and the mud and the dirt. We're still under construction. As you can see, we're in the process of laying down weed tarp, and then we're gonna put rock in there, so this will look a whole lot nicer. That'll be a project for this summer, but until then, it's gonna look like this. Right here is our Thai basil doing well. This, I believe, is a baby tree that has come up. You typically don't wanna put those in raised beds. We'll probably have to pull this out. I think it was an acorn, so it may be a baby oak tree. Right here is more melon. I think these are a mix of melons, so I'm not exactly sure what's in here. Probably some cantaloupe, some other things. We have been getting some of these fruits kind of dying off before they form. This one actually looks like it's forming. What that means is they weren't properly pollinated, so they don't actually mature and become melons. You can hand fertilize these. A lot of times you can get like a toothbrush, an electric toothbrush, take the top off and have just the buzzy metal end kind of stimulate that, and it'll spread its spores everywhere, or pollen everywhere, and hopefully make a melon.
These are susceptible to squash bugs as well, so we have found squash bug eggs as well as actual bugs on the plants. So you got to check these the same way you check your squash, your zucchini, etc.
Like that.
All right, as you can see here, we got more banana trees kind of floating around. They're doing great. 2 new leaves off of each of them as well. Looks like they're doing good. It's the winter only when we're really gonna have to worry about them, chop them down, cover them up. They're gonna be a little more susceptible to cold, but they do love the heat. They say to typically grow these in zone 9 or 8B, so we're right on the cusp. But they said if you cover in the winter, you should be okay. This bed right here is a big fail on both ends. We kind of knew it going in. The leafies, the cabbage, the brassicas, broccoli, things like that. It's cold weather loving. We just wanted to try it to see if we could get one before it got crazy hot. And if you look in here, we got one closing up. The outside leaves are pretty chewed up, but once it starts balling up, the bugs can't really get in there. And it's usually typically pretty good to go. It's always good to soak them in vinegar to make sure everything kind of dies off. The back half of this bed was a big fail. We planted red Lesotho potatoes. This is the only one that is surviving, and I don't even know if it's really surviving. So what we did, as soon as I realized that we were having a die-off and it wasn't gonna work, I seeded okra in between, and that's what we got coming up here. So we improvised with a veggie that likes to grow in the heat, because potatoes are more cold weather loving. We couldn't get them to work this year, but we were flexible and we quickly pivoted to okra. This is our fig tree, and this is a snail. And after it rains, these guys are everywhere. My kids love raising these. So there we go. This is our brown turkey fig. Last year, it looked pretty unhappy. This year, it's bushing out quite a bit. Still no figs on it. We're gonna have to thin it after it kind of dies off in the fall or winter.
This is Bob, the snail.
This is one of my latest little friends. This is our loquat. We had a video on planting him, but intense sun can burn the leaves. It's fine. These leaves are actually edible, as well as the fruit that'll hopefully come off of them. One thing that I've done is I've mulched around here. Again, that's good. It'll improve the soil over time, keep out weeds, and it'll keep the soil temperature cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. This is our okra bed. We had a video on planting these. These things are coming up great. Again, these love the heat. And you can see the flowers that I talked about in the last video starting to form. They haven't completely opened up, but we've already started getting okra off these little guys. They'll get a lot taller and produce a lot more. So some I planted from a store, some I seeded. So we've got some red okra and some green okra coming in, which is great. And again, these things are heat loving. And in the dead of July and August, when everything else is gone, you'll still find these guys helping you out. We found that ants love these plants, and we're typically covered in ants, but we haven't really seen any damage. You'll want to pull the okra before it gets too fat. It'll start getting kind of yucky tasting if you wait too long. Right in here is our asparagus, and it's still going. It's looking green, looking healthy. I've never grown it, so I don't know much about it and kind of its growth pattern. I know it will take about a year till you get anything off of it. I've got more through here. This was a seeded corn plant, one that came up, one of the only ones that came up. This is I believe it's a candy corn, so it's a sweet corn. Got some basil, some melons. This is more of a multicultural bed, which is better in the end. Here we had some red corn. It's kind of dying off, looking a little crispy. Not really sure what happened there, but we do have some corn coming. Some of them have fallen over. Probably need to plant them closer together so they help stabilize each other. Back behind us is a giant cornfield, and they are so close together, and all theirs are looking great. One of the coolest things we've done over here are these guys right here. Now this is ginger. We haven't grown ginger before, but we set it on a counter, we let it start to sprout, we buried it, and nothing happened. So I said, oh, that didn't work. Then I came out here one day and I saw these guys sticking up, and sure enough, all 3 of the ginger that I planted is coming up and doing well. These will take a while to grow, but these are so good for you. It's a great thing to put in your garden. And another cool thing is they're self-propagating. So once you pull them up, you break off a few pieces, plant them back in the ground, and you will have forever ginger. Look at this little guy. It's an okra seed. So he hopefully is going to come up, give us some more okra. All right, to give you just an overview of what it looks like as a whole. Got our peach trees really blowing up, 2 years old over there. Again, it is a little messy. We're still working on it. But everything, for the most part, is looking good. We're getting a lot of stuff out here. And we're enjoying the scenery and the beautiful colors of all the flowers you can put out here and spice up your backyard. All right, everybody, keep growing, keep eating. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Grow Waco.